Do you remember this Henry HVR200-22? The one which, well, currently it's Christmas week. Happy Christmas. Hope you're having a good time. This came from a skip, as you know. We stripped it down, found that, sadly, its motor wasn't going to survive, even if we could get it working again. And it's washed. It's ready to go back together and for us to perform some sort of motor bodge. So, let's see if we can get any life into this pile of literal scrap and end the video with a working, if not cosmetically challenged, Henry vacuum cleaner. Let's have a look. Hello, my vacuum cleaner and Henry chums. How are you today? Yep, this is going to be as good as he's going to get. I'll be able to do a little bit more with getting some of the bits off, but, you know, when it's as scuffed up as this, there isn't really much point in pushing the boat too far out. We've just got to get him back together and hope that it is good enough. We're going to start with this bit, try and get some of these parts out of the way. Oh, push that. I think I might have to get a hammer. There we go. Clocked into place. We can then fit the front wheels, and you're going to see me squirting a fair bit of this around in this video because, bless him, he has been used. And, oh, come on. One. He has been used, and I'll say abused, although, you know, many would just say used properly. He's going to need a little bit of help to not be quite so grindy and horrible. So, yeah, we're going to be splashing the lithium grease around quite a few of the moving parts on this machine. Yeah, we can start with the wheels. That's always pretty good place to start. Pop that there, pop its screws into place, and yeah, then little Henry can roll around the floor once more. One there, stick another. You can see how, how worn it is. That's what happens when they just get completely full of brick dust. It just abrades itself all over the shop, and the poor little vacuum has no chance at all. There we go. No, go into the hole. Marvellous. And then we can stick our one glamour cap back on. I still haven't fished another one out. Part of me thinks I might have one in the shed. Part of me is pretty sure I don't, and I'm not going to go spending out on one at the minute. So there we go. He has himself a tub. If I lean over and get the filter, it cleaned up. Okay, it's a bit stained, I can't do much about that, but it isn't a genuine filter anyway. It's been done before, so I'm not too fussed about that. All we are going to do is pop this bit back in, then stick this seal all around the outside, which takes a couple of minutes, but I like to take it off. As I said before, when you wash it, there is a bit of a chance that the filter will get caught in the washing machine, and if it shaves a little bit of this edge down, you can cover it up with this seal. So we'll get this on, and it can drop on like so. Well, actually, no, first, we best give him some way of having a hose being able to be attached to him. Do that now before we go fitting the filter. So pop that bit in there on these older two-part hose ends. There we go. And then once that bit clicks in there, it locks it all into place. Now we can drop the filter on and call that bit done. For now, we need to start building up this. And yeah, I mean, this bit isn't too bad. All the bits that were inside, they're okay. It's all the outside bits that are holding all of the damage. We can start by dropping the cord reel contacts back into place as I bend my thumb around the plastic. There we go. Then take these off because you can get all of the grit around it then. Oh, I'm going to have to get a screwdriver, and then you need to just push, there we go, push the tabs into the plastic. That's what locks them in. There we go, nice and flat, and everything pokes out underneath. What we can then do is take these wires. Now look at the blue on that neutral. This thing has been run really, really hot, and it shows with these cables, but we can reuse them. They're still perfectly fine. The live goes on the outside and the neutral goes on the inside. Although these spade terminals, one is thinner, the thinner end goes on these. There we go, and then you've just got to sort of tuck the wiring into place down underneath. Oh, hang on, I'll do it and show you. Down underneath there, like so, which then allows it to be brought up through the little cable clip things and run out to the switch. Then we can fit this part, which just covers up the wires really and makes it a little bit safer. And that is stage one done. Problem now is that we need to put something in this hole, because there's the lower motor rubber, but as you know, the original motor is still fairly scrap. So, I'm going to show you what we're going to try and fit. The motor that I have to try and fit is this Chinese clone of a Panasonic style motor. I'm fairly sure this came from an AEG Ultra Captic, which would probably put it at about 800 watts, but we can check that later. In fact, we can remove the terminals from the old vacuum cleaner wiring, and well, this gives us our first little problem, because if I just drop this on here to sort of get it into place and then put this bit on, because it's so small, the motor isn't held at all, and that is why we need to do ourselves a motor bodge, which effectively is just going to be me cutting something up that is stiff and strong to just wedge itself between there and there, and then when it's all screwed down it clamps. So let me work out how the heck I'm going to measure what size of thing I need and find a thing that will work. And if I hold it down now, it's nice and strong. How have I done it? Well, our good friend Mr. Wastepipe. I've still got tons of this. If it helps, Hot Wheels cars fit down it properly. And I bought a load for the kids years ago, and we used to make Hot Wheels tracks with it. Now let me play with that now. So I use it for motor bodges. It's going to sit there on this rubber top of the original motor, so it hopefully pushes down. And then I refitted the top of the old motor because I didn't want it pushing directly on the bottom of there. At least now it's pushing against the whole thing. And, well, that's that really. This is how the motor bodges work. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do it upside down really. I might have to do this off camera, because normally on a pneumatic, you just go in there, just say, am I going to, I think that'll do it. Normally on a pneumatic, you build it up upside down, so the motor sits upside down in here. But that's going to be very difficult now because it doesn't want to stay put. So this could be a little bit fiddly. We're also going to give the old PCB a go, because I'm not entirely convinced that it is broken. It was obviously running fine until the motor exploded. So I'm not, and I would imagine that the motor was making its horrible noises for many, many years before it finally went. Part of me thinks that PCB is going to be okay. We're going to try it. So what we're going to do is, effectively, I'm going to have to wire it up as best as I can, then try and get the wires into the motor and get the whole thing back together. Might not be able to film it, but we'll give it a go. We'll do this bit. Oh. Just get in. There we go. There's the high-low. There is our normal switch, although I need to now plug the live and the neutral into the main switch. There you are. Neutral go at the back. The live can go at the front. Oh, and then pull both of them out, because that's the sensible thing to do, isn't it? Oh, goodness sake. But eventually we'll get the switch pack wired up, and then I'm gonna have to off camera plug it in, sandwich it together, and hopefully in the next scene these parts here will be together. And I'm hoping that that's going to work absolutely fine. The motor is seated. I'm hoping that the fan case sort of dips with this bit, and I'm hoping it's not pushed up so tight against there that we get no airflow. But I mean, that's the joy of a motor, Bodge. You don't know until you turn it on, which we will hopefully be doing shortly. So, cover on for our switch. That'll do. Then we can pop these plastic wheels, where are they, back in for the bottom of the cord reel. And again, these are going to get a nice dirty squoosh of lithium grease all ready to roll underneath here. There we go. Whee! Marvellous. Talking of whee! Marvellous, we need to fit the flex, which, again, I've cleaned it, but I just couldn't be bothered to clean every single little bit of paint off the cable. It's just not worth it. This machine's probably going to have to be sold as a van vac anyway, due to its state. There's not much point in going any more than this. So we shall pop the flex into its little house. There we go, that can go there. Obviously make sure you fit this as well, because you can't fit it otherwise. Then we have N and L for neutral and live. The suppressor, capacitor, whatever you want to call it, that won't pop. These aren't like the older ones where they did used to blow. And then, if you can get everything in nicely, you can stick these machine screws in. Pop the cable under, and there we go. One there. I'll just get there. I don't even care how you sit. It doesn't really matter. One there. One here, and that will do. We probably do this with it on the machine. We need to sort of part line up. No, I can't do it on the machine because it'll push it down too far. We then got to fit this, and this isn't as easy as the newer style ones, because you have to sort of line up. I'm sure there's a hack, but you've got to line up the screws without really being able to see what you're doing. Oh, there, that's it. And then smash all the screws in, and hopefully it will stay level. I'm sure there is a little hack somewhere. Anybody know the secret to getting a pneumatic cord reel top on first time? Do let me know down below. There we go. Something like that. Across the well-worn track of a well-worn Henry. Right, that can go in there, and then hopefully it will start to wind up, although we won't fully know until we get this immaculate condition head on. I didn't even fully wash out the handle because it was just taking hours. And, there's not much point in having a spotless looking handle when the rest of the machine looks like that. We'll take the cable exit from it, and you sort of hold it into place and drop the lid down, turn it back over, then we can put the last of the screws in, and then I can pop him onto his base. Why don't you go in? There we go. We can pop him onto his base and see if, well, I think this motor works. Depends on if this motor works in this machine. Check the cord reel works nice and smooth, which it does. This cable's been wrapped up a little while, that's not helping. Yeah. Very annoying, isn't it? No wonder all the cables on the Jameses and the caster tops all get pretty nasty. We have our skip fine Henry. Doesn't look any better. but hopefully he will now work. Yes, you are okay, aren't you, poor one? Let us see. Yeah! Oh. Huh. Even the PCB works. Hey, I'll take that. He sounds quite quiet. He sounds all right. I've even got this, which is the tool holder, but I'm actually going to keep that in my personal stash, because one day we're going to get a much nicer Henry that we're going to want to minter up, and we'll keep him for that. This isn't it. Whoever gets this isn't going to care about having a tool holder. What they probably are going to care about, though, is having some tools. So, how are we going to make Henry clean the floor? I mean, you could do it, you know, an inch at a time, just work your way around your entire house, and you would have it very clean. Or you could go upstairs to your massive pile of vacuum cleaner related junk and find a long-necked floor head. I love this era of floor head. This is the era that was current when I worked in a hotel as a teenager and smashed the crap out of a Henry for many years. It was this floor head. We went through a couple. This one's already lost its lint strip, but it is there. We then have Anne wand, and Anne Ben 10. But of course, even doing this isn't going to help too much. So, if you remember, that newer Henry came with this massive hose. I have put this massive hose through the washing machine, and sadly, it did catch itself on the door of the drum. This is what happens. This is what happens to the sides of the filters as well. But probably not be too much of an issue, because this hose is massive anyway, so we can cut this little bit off here and that can go in the bin. Should we keep this comically long? I think we should. We'll take the hose end, which was on here, pop that on first, screw the end into here. That can go on there. Again, it's not going to matter about having a non-genuine hose end. No one is really going to care. As long as it screws on. There we go. Oh. Hang on. Something isn't right. This bit isn't fully seating itself into place, which could just be because it's garbage. Or maybe, where are we? It's this end here. It had both ends on, and one end only came off. So, he is pretty much almost ready to go. Need to fit a bag. Probably not the worst thing that's going to happen to him. But if I bring in my Home Assistant dashboard, you will see the Henry's unknown motor section. When I turn this on, hopefully that's going to tell us how much wattage this is putting. Let's start him on low. What has he got? It's 863 watts of power. So this is already 200 watts more than a 160. Let's stick it on high. What has he got? Let's catch up. It's 1,400 watts. Wow. I mean, that's 400 watts more than he was. That takes 5 seconds to update. That's why there's a little bit of a delay. So, maybe that wasn't from the AEG Ultra Captic then. Because I'm pretty sure that was only 800 watts. Unless they lied. Or, as I'm sure I think is the case, I just can't remember where the heck that motor came from. Which is, yeah, very, very likely indeed. Right, let us fit a bag and then we can do some vacuuming. As for what bag I'm going to fit, well, I've got 2, now 1 left. Finally getting through them. These genuine pneumatic paper bags. You know, here's a bit already. There's no real reason why you would fit a bag. You may as well just use the filter. But you know me, I'm not a massive fan of using vacuums that should have a bag as a bonus, and it's probably not worth wasting a HEPA flow on him. I mean, I could give him away with another filter. Say give him away, probably try and sell him, but yeah, how much do you sell an obviously trashed pneumatic for? Well, more dirt is coming off. I'm wondering if I should get the machine polisher out and see just what we could make of him. But we'll save that for in a minute. Let's now see how well he cleans. Oh. Yeah. Very powerful. Hose is 10 miles longer. I wonder how far I could get by cleaning. I'm out the front room now. That's pretty cool. Oh, you can just use him on knife. This is still more powerful than they all are. I say more powerful though, he doesn't half seem a bit less powerful than the Henry 160 with its original 620 watt mode. So this is going to be where the differences in technology, eras are going to be concerned, because yeah, this motor uses more power, but it hasn't been designed to be more efficient with less. And yeah, I think that's probably going to show. But in our specific example, he was in a skip. The skip at the time we filming this has been gone for ages now. This has been sat a little while. Obviously, I can film this way before Christmas and get away with it. So yeah, he would have been long gone as well. But he's not. He's here. You can't die yet. Probably find him a good home. He's too good to chuck away. And yeah, we can say that we have saved another Henry. So, what do you think? Is that the sort of motor bodge that you would perform? I think it went very well. It works. That's all that you really want out of a motor bodge. Get this cable wound up, and yeah, whoever buys him can have almost a central vacuum in terms of the hose, or they can chop it down and have even less. But not our problem. We are done. So, another one saved. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed. And I and some other homeless Henry will see you soon. Bye bye.